Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Thanks to the majesty of popular opinion, today we're going to be embarking on a great journey. Uganda shall unite Africa. And so here we start in 1936. So in order to unite Africa, well, it's not exactly going to be easy, is it? But don't worry, we have a good focus tree that's going to get us straight through this. You know, we might have to rethink this one. Okay, let's do this again. Let's have that and that, a little bit of that. Oh, and we should probably stick this to this, just to make it a little bit more sane. So hello, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today we're taking on the ambitious challenge of uniting as much as Africa as we can, using 3 of my main mods. Those are the generic focus tree, the formable nations, and the expanded decisions. Thanks to this, Uganda and other African nations have some unique national ideas. Uganda has the Kabaka of Buganda, which is like their monarch. They are a fledgling nation, and they have a foundational government. This is typically because in this time period, they shouldn't really be released. So, Uganda uniting Africa. Let's begin. Now with the formable nations, there's actually 2 nations we can aspire to because of the region. We can form a united East Africa, but the end goal is the Federation of Africa as a whole. With that we need political effort. The next thing we're going to have to think about is getting rid of these terrible ideas which are hemorrhaging our country. Now they aren't too difficult to get rid of, we just need to fix the country. The first thing we can do is consolidate our civilian population. That's quite easy, you just need 100 PP. Lots of war support can get our sovereignty. Stability gets the reform of the administration, and just having an industry helps the economy. I think the most appropriate path for us is to go collectivist internationalism. It's the most straightforward, it gives us manpower, and we get to keep the Kabaka. We kind of have to rush down our ideology so that we can declare wars faster, because as of right now, literally nobody has an army. Martin the Demagogue? Okay, with collectivist ethos, we can now start working towards our industry. The most important is just doing the top bit so we have sieves and mills to build a small army. While that's going on, I can consolidate the civilian population and do the other things I need to do. The reason these focuses, or should I say ideas, are so good at the start, especially fledgling nation, is to justify war goal time on us. It means that we can very quickly justify on surrounding countries. We got the assault divisions, that's going to speed up the process considerably. I feel like it's September 1937 and nothing has happened. Nothing. I'm just waiting until I can actually flip. Okay, we can now hold the national referendum. And what are we now? Nationalist Uganda, with a much worse retired officer. Okay, now that we're nationalist, we can declare on Kenya and begin the first rate of expansion. All of my research is just going into things that can help us with this battle, because I think for the start of the game we're just going to be slogging it through East Africa. The justification is complete. It is time, Uganda. To war! So conveniently, Kenya doesn't have any units. Oh, they just spawned one. Well, that works for us. And just like that, without any issue, the job's done. So with that we can also start some other focuses, like naval effort. My research feels so weird right now. I'm just getting artillery and interwar fighters in 38. I don't feel like I've got the strongest nation going. It says here that you can create a variant, and I never understood this because what are you supposed to do other than rename them? I don't know what this achieves. So our next opponent, Tanzania, actually has a unit ready and prepared before we've even begun. So my thought process is I'll just hold this front while I deal with the south. And in we go again. Oof. And just we managed to get Tanzania, although here they call it Tanganyika ? But all that matters is we got it, which most importantly means we can now click Unite East Africa, the East African Empire. It is from here that we stand a much better chance of taking over the entirety of Africa. The unification of the East African Empire. My next target is the Congo, and as we just hit 1939, this is the one I think is going to be one of the hardest. There's a few countries in Africa which I think are just always going to be difficult. Ethiopia is one of them, Egypt is one of them, Nigeria can sometimes be pretty difficult, and of course South Africa is just impossible. But other than that, this one is difficult. So if we get it early and they get their troops caught in the north, we might be able to sneak a troop down to Leopoldville and steal the victory. We can also do some more of these colonial footprint decisions. So I think we'll reform the administration and then work on the economy next. Okay, with the justification done, let's see if I can micro my way through this war. I have low expectations at best. So as you can see, I was able to trap the division in the north. They then got angry and spawned 3 divisions down here. So I'm hoping this one division will just hold the attack as the 5 divisions I quickly spawned out here flood into their country. Oh, and we did it. That was I genuinely didn't think that would work, but okay, we got there. Take all states. Okay, we're kind of doing better than the Portuguese colonial ambitions, so there's that. We've united East and West Africa because of the little port we have here, and now we really have to decide what's the best course going forward. When we got East Africa, we do have the option to get South Sudan and core it. Looking at this country really makes you realise how ridiculous some African borders are. What is this? What is this down here? Why are you here, Elizabethville? So this is the part where I admit I don't have the highest expectations of victory, and I'm thinking we need to build a navy, simply because I think we might need to do naval invasions. Oh, and World War II just started. Oh my goodness, we are actually pushing as well. Raw power. Oh, they're spawning divisions. Oh no, we're encircling them. Oh no, this is a disaster, Sudan. What happened? How did you start losing so terribly? I thought I'd have to naval invade up here, but to be honest, this is just a steamroll. Oh, I'm sorry, Sudan. You didn't deserve that. So we've now generated 4.3 world tension. If we generate more than 10, the Allies are going to start guaranteeing countries we justify against. So we need to be careful that we don't overexpand too quickly. So my next country I'll be taking out is Egypt, which has a beautiful new portrait here. The reason I'm doing Egypt is because, one, they're probably the strongest African nation. I'm not too worried about Ethiopia because I can just get the countries that surround it and sort of encircle it to victory with some mountaineers. With Egypt, I'm not so sure I can. So my plan is to pin their units at the front and then quite literally just naval invade up here and get as many VPs as I can before they can reinforce. If that fails, I cry. Oh, and because of Sudan, we can now integrate South Sudan, which gives us another core. Meanwhile, in World War II, things are looking very World War II-ish. Now that we have more than 10 factories, we can actually start doing the medium level industry focus tree. I'm kind of hoping this is their entire army, because if it's not, we're in quite a bit of trouble. Okay, we now have a small little navy off the coast of North Sudan, the Empire Fleet. It's pretty green, but I'm pretty sure Egypt doesn't even have a navy, so the naval supremacy should be in our favour. I guess it's time to find out. Okay, one of the most important wars of the game, Egypt. Let's see how we do. That's one landing. You need to cut them off here. Oh, we just need victory points. We need Giza, we need Alexandria. If we can get all of these, there's hope. I don't believe it, we did it. I mean, to be fair, when I landed 10 units here, surrounded by all the victory points that Egypt now has, it was going to be a lot harder for them to stop me. I think them adding more victory points to Egypt has made it a lot easier for you to conquer them. Goodbye, Libya. You might be asking, why am I getting atomic research as former Uganda? if this game is going to the 1950s and 60s, it's possible that the only way I'm going to get into Ethiopia by that point is just hardcore carpet nuking the entire region. I'm not happy about it, but we have to prepare for every opportunity. While it would seem like getting the extra research slot here is important, I think getting the extra research slot from political modernisation is going to be easier. We just need 500,000 men in the field. Oh god, we're straight in there. We're ready to go already. I forgot how quickly the justification times are getting the later we go. Okay, let's see what we can do. I'm kind of relying on the naval invasions instantly capitulating them. There's Tripoli, there's Benghazi. I mean, is that not it already? I feel like that's it. It is indeed the end. And we grow even larger. But now we've got 14.4% world tension. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Effectively, I'm going to time-lapse for a bit and see how much I can grow this out while we wait for the world tension to go lower. I'll probably continue expanding along the northern coast because it's the one I want to deal with most. It's the most dangerous to me. And then we'll see how quickly we can wrap things up and what kind of time scale. If anything interesting happens, I'm sure I'll let you know.
Many hours later.
Okay, so after just getting Tunisia, we're getting to the end of 41 and it's going extremely slowly. So I've come to a turning point. I basically have to choose. I could continue as I'm going and get to the 1960s, which will literally be like one country every year-ish, maybe two every year. Or I could just join Germany and see if I can steamroll through Central West Africa, and I'll have to hold the Mediterranean coast, push into Israel as best I can, and keep an eye on South Africa, who are probably going to try and destroy me at every avenue they have. So I'm going to go on for a little bit, but if I choose, we might be joining a certain Reich.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so some time has passed since last we were here, and I've got to work. I conquered some small countries in South Africa because they still had the debuff, which was a quick justification, and I continued moving through the north. I'm now going to go after Guinea-Bissau because I feel like it'll be a good stronghold to get into West Africa and finish this. I chose not to go after joining the Axis because, well, they've seen better days. They haven't pushed into Russia at all. They've lost 4 million men. Italy is becoming a corpse. And after losing their D-Day, Italy is now hiding in Northern Ireland. So all in all, could be going better for them. Each justification is roughly 40 days, so long as they have fledgling nation, which is surprisingly fast when you think about it. It's not too insane in the grand scheme of things. Okay, let's see if we can get in there. The invasion is away. Okay, we're struggling. Oh, thank God. Hope abound we can still push. Yeah, don't worry. Jeez Louise, I was worried, but looks like we have this one. Next up on the carving block is Senegal. So the good thing about Senegal is, since they probably are going to prioritise this border, I think I could do a small naval invasion around the top. Okay, pushing into Senegal this time. And it seems to be going okay? That seems okay to me. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I don't think the East African Empire could get any more West African at this point. I mean, here we are at Dakar, and that seems to be like the most western point as it gets, right? And yet there is still so much left to do. Still, I could be Italy. My collaborations got so high in the Congo, I can now create a collaboration government there. Yeah, Italy is kind of... yeah. We're launching our invasion of the country of Dahomey, I think that's how it's pronounced, but in around 11 days we're going to be losing the army of aggression, which is what's basically been fueling my quick justifications. As such, we have to decide which country we want to take out for like our final cheap justification, and I think I'm going to use it on Ethiopia. We haven't quite covered their entire border yet, I acknowledge, but we cover enough of it to the point where I think it's doable. So that will be the next target. Japan seems to have gotten themselves encircled in the centre of India. Ugh, not their finest moment. I thought that the AI usually made it so the Axis wins. The only thing they've won is Ireland. Who knew that Mussolini could unite Ireland? Okay, let's see what we can do now with Ethiopia. I am seeing some green. Oh, it's the mountaineers especially, isn't it? they can just go straight through the centre line. Okay, well, since this was such an absolute steamroll, I think I'm going to say it now. I cannot be bothered going through the individual wars for all of these countries when I know that if I wait long enough, I can easily win it. And Turkey is now a part of the Allies. So we could sit here until 1950s and guarantee the victory, or I could just eat them using console commands and show you the end game. Because yeah, I mean, do we really need to see me eat Rwanda? Is it necessary? I don't think so. If you wanted to do this in a much faster way, I probably would say you should form East Africa, then just join the Axis. Or if you play as a releasable somehow, maybe as Portugal and then release one, do the same strategy again. Just join the Axis or the Comintern. So, using magic, let's go to an alternate reality. Ooh. And suddenly we find ourselves in a much better timeline out of nowhere. Who could have thunk it? So I've added the decision, demand South African submission, which effectively means if you have a big enough of an army, you can click this button and you now should have the ability to unite Africa. Well, with all said and done, I think I'm ready to wrap this up. So let's see what happens when you unite Africa. That's pretty green. So we get this cool green flag, the Greater African Empire. I'm just going to let it play for a second. What's the manpower looking like? Oh, the factory. Yep, that's a lot of manpower. Just a casual 13 million. So not too bad, all in all. So yeah, this was a very strange little video, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.